going for 19 a game in league play. That actually leads everybody. And so this LSU program, they're wearing their home whites. They are looking for their first victory against the AP #1 team in America since their 2006 Final Four run. Let's see if Corey Chess, the redshirt freshman, can have another strong game. Picking up right where he left off in Tuscaloosa Saturday.
Broom blocked the first shot, but not the second.
So Chess would not be denied at the double-double in that loss to Alabama Saturday. Broom leads the way in this Auburn starting five, averages about 18 and 11 boards. So the most productive big man in America, his wonderful season continues. New 20 for the Tigers after the Dylan Cardwell miss. Step back long two. Denver Jones couldn't hit it. And Auburn with consecutive offensive rebounds on this opening sequence. Here's Broom, the lefty, left the push shot short. Lost his footing, has it. Chess trying to tie him up. This is a fourth look now for Auburn.
LSU must do better on the glass. That's a wild shot.
Okay, 5, Broom blocked, Collins got it, 6 looks, a 7th opportunity before the turnover. My goodness, they got 7 cracks at it. So Matt McMahon's team, they ultimately do get the stop. They'll get possession back.
I like the fact the crowd took credit for that turnover.
Yeah. Well, a little more juice in this building than is typically the case. Carter for 3, and that'll fire him up in the early minutes.
Auburn asleep on the side out.
Mark, they say it's a long 2, and so it's the 4-0 lead for LSU. A little juice in the building with #1 in town. Chad Baker-Mazzara, an aggressive attack. His lefty layup would not go. And Auburn relentless on the offensive glass here. That is 6 offensive rebounds. We haven't even played 2 minutes. Broom couldn't get it. Cardwell, boy, he is aggressive underneath. Chess lost the handle, and Auburn is coming back. This is a chaotic sequence to start. Broom blocked. That was Collins. He stuck with it. Broom trying to barge into him.
This is wild.
Oh, this is quite the start. 4-0 lead for LSU. Jones hits the roller, knocked away. Gibbons got a piece of it. Lead feed to Carter. Carter, the throwdown.
Do you think that target on your back of being #1 is getting larger and larger for Auburn?
We know who has registered the first knockdown in this battle. 6-0 start for LSU. They're coming off of a really encouraging performance against Alabama. Lost by 7, but that was a very close game deep into the second half. Miles Kelly gets Auburn on the board.
Kevin, most great upsets, the genesis starts at the three-point line, and I think this is a more than or less than game for LSU. They've got to make more than 7 threes, but have less than 14 turnovers.
Well, and there's the first one. That has been problematic for LSU. And Corey Chess, their very relentless rebounder, is signaling towards his right foot to the LSU sideline. So Derek Fountain is going to check in quickly here. Boy, it's been like a wrestling match underneath between Chess and Broom, essentially on both ends of the floor here, Mark, the first few minutes. So another physical start. Near turnover, Collins got his hands on it. Derek Fountain on the floor, and then a tie-up. Possession arrow will give it back to the Tigers. LSU won the tip. So Tigers, that is the Auburn Tigers, staggering here in the early moments.
I thought that was a good anticipatory move by Collins. I thought he got fouled on his way to intercept that pass. I don't know what the crowd might have expected, but they are energized right now.
A very focused LSU team. Its lone SEC win was here a couple weeks ago against Arkansas. They have been in several of these losses to, of course, some of the best teams in America. The latest was on Saturday against Alabama. So it is a spirited crew. This is Broom going to work again. Boy, he gets that close. Look out.
When in doubt, Auburn will always run their offense through number 4.
He had the double-double in the top 10 win against Tennessee Saturday. So in his return, he's named Player of the Week of the SEC. His 11th double-double of the season. Played 33 minutes. Auburn staff, they weren't quite sure how much they were going to get from him coming back from the ankle sprain, but he looked good and healthy.
Couldn't take him out.
Yeah. Chaney Johnson. Great move that time.
When you have the resume of Auburn, respect the game. As a number 1, you're going to get everybody's best shot every game out, especially on the road.
This is Chaney Johnson, could not get it to go. So that has certainly been a characteristic and strong quality of this Auburn team. It's according to Bruce Pearl and the staff. They have remained focused, locked in. They have not overlooked opponents. Damian Collins buries the first 3 of the evening.
Just his 3rd make of the season. He was 2 for 14. Those are the kind of things you have to have happen, I think, for this kind of upset.
And they struggled Saturday in the loss to Bama from distance. Now Miles Kelly, he is the marksman, one of the better perimeter threats in the SEC.
In league play alone, 50%, but that step back, that is nasty.
Hit some clutch ones down the stretch, right, against Tennessee.
2 big ones.
Yep. So Kelly, from distance, he has been money of late. That's a foul on Baker Bizarra. Jordan Sears just checked into the game for Matt McMahon. So he's getting his first minutes. 46-year-old from about 30 minutes outside of Knoxville. Last year, this program took a step forward, won 17 games. They went to the NIT. The goal, of course, for Matt and this crew is an NCAA tournament. Now, they are still a little banged up without Jalen Reed, as we know, since mid-December. We think they should have Victorious Miller back today. That's their dependable 6th man who's missed the last couple of games due to an injury. Now, Bailey was out of bounds, so ball back to Auburn.
Kevin, those are the kind of turnovers that drive Matt McMahon crazy.
Yeah.
As you take a look at the early shooting, LSU's only attempted 5 shots, while Auburn has owned the offensive glass.
Well, I've never seen a 6, I said this to you a moment ago, I've never seen a 6 offensive rebound possession. 6, one time down the floor for Auburn. And they didn't get anything that sequence. That was one of the first possessions of the game. Broom, careless giveaway. Carter, a burst of speed, lays it in, and the foul. Cam Carter has locked in to start.
This all started with Carter's ability to read Janai Broom. Take another look. 5 at the bottom left of your screen. Cam Carter, he reads Broom's eyes, the quick hands. That leads to the run out and the finish. And that's what LSU needs, because they've struggled to score and make shots. Let your defense help your offense out. 6
points for Carter. I thought I heard a whistle. Might have been a goaltend whistle, so no free throw. Broom spins on the freshman, and Janai Broom with a grown man move.
He had Robert Miller draped all over him and still was able to finish.
Broom averages the double-double, most productive big man in America. This is Carter now into the corner. Aforementioned 3. That one is a bit strong, and then a rebound down to Miller. So Trey'Dez Green, the freshman, with his first look from distance, a little charged up, but then a foul after the offensive rebound.
I think Bruce Pearl and company will live with Green at the arc. That air ball, I often say this, air balls for a defender are the hardest to rebound because they get to you quicker. There's not the same timing as when the ball hits the rim. You can block out. There's a certain rhythm. Air balls don't give you that.
So LSU is trying to capitalize off the second chance. Jordan Sears, very prolific scorer, coming off the bench still. Has got it to the rim, leaves it off for the big man. Back out to Bailey. Sets the feet. Yes, Jai Bailey.
Yeah, just 9 for 34, 20 for 37, 24%. So already LSU has made a couple of threes from unlikely sources.
Early 5-point lead, 7 minutes in, with number 1 in the nation in town. Miles Kelly wants it, can't answer. And then a loose ball foul on LSU. And it was pretty physical inside in these early minutes, so LSU finally gets got.
Take another look. There's quite the battle inside, and then Carter just rides out Broom. That's an easy call. Chaney Johnson was trying to go into the chest of Trades Green. I'm not sure I'm going to have much success there.
It's almost like you're going into the chest of a tight end. That's because that is the case.
Yes.
Football player in the fall for the LSU Tigers on the gridiron. Just his second game with the basketball team, the two-sport stud. Miller, bounce pass, Green active on the baseline. Bailey had it knocked away. Miles Kelly deflects it. Here's the freshman, Tahad Pettiford, lays it up and in. So the rookie is off the bench. Very prolific, scoring sixth man with his first basket.
Yeah, I like Kelly the way he anticipated and blew up that ball screen, if you will. Handoff, dribble handoff.
All right, Green wants him for this corner. Now, they missed the first one long, leaves that short. And numbers here for Auburn if they hurry. Pettiford back to Kelly. And Kelly has to take it straight away. Here's the three. There's Miles Kelly's second.
I don't think you can allow him to get his vision toward the rim. You must crowd him, make him put the ball on the deck, which he can do.
Miles Kelly locked in from distance of late. Better than 50% in SEC play. Green now 0 of 3 from distance, so they're daring him to shoot it.
Yeah, there's a reason you're open.
14 up. Just getting started in Baton Rouge. Auburn, third straight week, ranked number 1 in the nation. Pettiford for 3. Chris Moore chases it down, so a new 20 for the visiting Tigers.
Offensive rebounding, effort, and activity.
Broom passes up the 3. Broom into the paint, floats it up, and a rebound down to Miller. Green running the floor. Trades Green in just his second game with the basketball squad throws it down.
What did Matt McMahon tell you and I today? They must score in transition. They've got to look for early offense. Nicely done.
Got the 6-2 advantage in terms of fast break points, so they are scoring in some creative ways down. He's taken 9 shots, 2 of 9 from the field. So again, all those offensive boards from a whole cast of characters that they have not converted. And so after the Chad Baker-Mazzara missed pull-up, LSU on the move again. That's a giveaway. That's now 7 turnovers for the Tigers. Baker-Mazzara misses again. Johnson. There's a foul.
Well, you just cannot have any hope possessions. And what I mean by that for LSU, you can't pass the ball ahead and hope it gets to a teammate against the length of Auburn.
Hope is not a strategy.
It's not a strategy in this game.
So Mike Williams sits down Cam Carter back on the floor for LSU. He got off to the 3-for-3 start from the field. He has 6 points.
And here's Auburn trying to change up the flow of the game, going down the court. Auburn's special teams are as good as anybody in college basketball. It's been a DNA staple of a Bruce Pearl coach team for a long time.
Just a well-rounded roster and rotation. The most efficient offensive team in America. They're so strong defensively, like right here. Then you throw in the special teams, lob it up. Denver Jones lays it in. And Auburn's tied this thing up.
Yeah, you cannot pass against Auburn and have the ball float in any way. That's much better job by Sears being more definitive on the bounce. Watch 10 blue Chad Baker-Mazzara. He's not even in your screen. But he read that play the whole way, and that's what led to the turnover and the run out and the easy deuce there for Denver Jones.
The one area that has plagued LSU this year has been the turnovers. Sometimes the number has piled up a bit too high. And so, yes, Auburn has turned him over 8 times. Now, what else is critical? What is part of the recipe for success for LSU today against the #1 team of the nation?
They've got to make more threes than they normally do, and they must rebound the ball better.
A near 5-second count there. Curtis Givens, the freshman, picked up the dribble. And so this is Victorious Miller. First game back and ascended to the second leading scorer on this team.
Okay, you're in mid-season form.
Well, I like to. We are in mid. Listen, there are no such thing as jinxes. They do not exist. So he gets 1 out of 2. Auburn's going to get the.
But it begs the question,
back.
Kevin, why do great free throw shooters, we see this all the time, miss technical foul shots? Because it disrupts the repetition part of free throw shooting. Free throw shooting is about 2 things and 2 things only: confidence and repetition. And when there's not anybody on the line, that's a different look.
Baker Mazzara has it here, but he picked up the dribble. Jaheim Hudson onto the floor for the first time, and the senior from Georgia with an acceleration of the basket.
Yeah, didn't score against Tennessee in just 3 minutes.
Hudson logged some important minutes when Broome was out those 2 games. Givens draws the foul. And so that is the first on Pettiford.
Well, if you get feet in the paint against Auburn, you better gather and put both hands on that ball quickly. How about Pat McMahon's look tonight? Is this a throwback look?
I think we've seen, so he has displayed the suit and tie look on many occasions this year. I think we're starting to see more Blazers back on the sidelines, slowly but surely. The number continues to grow. Givens blocked, or rather Bailey blocked by Broome at the rim. Broome hustling back. Denver Jones throws the foul on the freshman Givens, so he reached in that time.
It's almost like fool's gold if you beat Broome off the bounce. He is so good at timing his rim protection.
That's now 2 blocks already for Broome. Again, top 10 of the nation in blocks per game. Hudson, deep post catch, turns, fires it back out to Jones.
And Auburn gets more off that flex cut than anybody else in the country.
Wow, look at how Broome snatched that one away. But it's a loose ball foul on Auburn, so that'll be on Hudson. But this was quite the extension to gather this one. They could not stick it back, though.
Broome, as good as anybody at getting in the picture. I often say offensive rebounding, put your camera down. You need to get in the picture, not taking the picture.
Yeah, he is the centerpiece this season. Near turnover, and there is the deflection. Chad Baker Mazzara just harassing LSU that time. It's a 12-2 Auburn run. And the #1 ranked team in the nation now at the 5-point edge.
And this all started with the Cam Carter flagrant 1.
Push shot missed. Auburn coming back the other way with a whole lot of momentum. Baker Mazzara, yeah, hits it. And from several different Tigers, heck, Janai Broome is just 2 of 10 from the field. And another offensive rebound. That is 13. Corey Chest, Damian Collins back on the floor for LSU. Baker Mazzara, lob it up to Cardwell. Just elevation and a monster throwdown for the senior. 17-2 run. LSU has got to find a way.
Need offense.
Yep. Stop the bleeding. Sears kicked it out of bounds. And so this pressure defense for Auburn, we are seeing it on full display.
Drop coverage by Collins. He's in no man land. Chest is late to rotate over. Baker Mazzara reads that beautifully. And Dylan Cardwell playing in his 148th game in his Auburn career.
It's a foul on J.P. Pegues.
Yeah, this is Pegues' first action in SEC play. He's really had a tough year shooting the ball.
Senior from Nashville, who was a 2-year starter at Furman the last couple of years. You're right. This is his first minutes in SEC play, so he did not play the first 6.
Nice
Sears
job.
takes it away. And so Jordan Sears with his first basket. A double-figure score for the Tigers is on the board.
Kind of a nonchalant inbounds pass. That's a good job, though, of shooting the gap by Sears.
Baker Mazzara fires from distance. Cam Carter on the floor, playing with the 2 fouls. So Matt McMahon and the staff sensing the urgency here after the 17-2 Auburn run. Carter, the very productive playmaker from not far away, Donaldsville, Louisiana.
How about the fact that Carter and Sears this year in league play have just shot lights out from the free throw line? That's hard to fathom, isn't it? One guy's perfect, the other guy's missed one.
Automatic.
That's one of the reasons why LSU is the best free throw shooting team in league play in the conference.
Yeah, you see it there, 84% at the line. So back to a 6-point game. Kelly hoists, misfires from distance. Carter, lead feed up ahead to Jai Bailey. Bailey steps back, wants the 3. That's offline. And Janai Broom tracks it down.
I'm okay with that shot. You're not going to get a better 3 in the half court.
Bailey hit one from distance previously. So now the gap is shrunk back to 6. You got Chest and Broom going toe-to-toe in the paint. Tahad Pettifer with the right-hand dribble. Pulls up. That's good. Tahad Pettifer, fearless rookie out of Jersey City, is having a fine season.
Yeah, he's had 3 games this year of 20 or more. Double figures 11 times.
Now, the latest was against Georgia. Went for 24 last week in the win against the Bulldogs. Who's this one coming down to? Kelly just takes it away. Miles Kelly. And so Auburn, they have been physical. They have been quicker in most cases to some of those 50-50 balls, and they're really putting the pressure on LSU defensively now.
I think that's a great point. You win the majority of 50-50 balls, usually you'll win on the big board.
No one bounces free. Cardwell is running the floor. Cardwell looking for somebody. Cardwell puts it up. And so LSU dodges a bullet that time. That is 11 first half turnovers for LSU. That's a number they're going to have to correct. Sears for 3, gets fouled, and Jordan Sears, Mr. Automatic, as you mentioned before, is going to the free throw line for the first time today.
Auburn got discombobulated defensively. Didn't know who was guarding who. That's a nice job by Carter with his vision to see that nobody was guarding Sears on the weak side. You never close out defensively at a shooter. You must go by a shooter.
So that's a couple of times we've seen the three-point shooter get fouled here in this first half. Sears, very prolific scorer. This is his 5th season. He's from Daytona Beach, Florida.
Take another look at the cross-court pass. Gets his feet set. And again, just not able to land. You cannot put yourself in the landing position of the shooter. How about this? Do you think Sears should maybe pay taxes at the free throw line? Because in his career, this is free throw number 569.
He is in the highest sort of tax bracket there.
Yes.
So Sears, well, he's from Florida, so I don't know about that.
That ruined his free throw streak, and nobody back.
There's Baker Mazzara. Oh, acrobatic finish. Count it. And the foul for the senior.
See, that's just not a smart play that time by Bailey. The point guard is shooting the free throw. It's missed. Bailey is not there nearly soon enough. And Baker Mazzara, who has the ability to finish in some awkward situations and still have the and one opportunity.
It has felt since LSU took that early lead, Auburn has applied a lot of pressure. And when you face them, you got to be able to handle it on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, they're doubling every ball screen.
Givens banks it in from 15.
Guess what? It counts. Doesn't look good, but it counts.
They're going to take it any way they can today. LSU, now, Mark, to your point, they're 53% from the floor. Pettiford can't answer. And Corey Chest, who looked like he had a right foot issue earlier in this half, he's back out there. It's just been the turnover problem today in the first half for LSU. Tigers, though, with less than 4 to play, trying to slice into the deficit. Miller sets the screen. This is Givens, decides to hoist. Curtis Givens, watch it go down and out. Pettiford quickly to push. Pettiford, a blur, puts it up, rebound down to Miller.
Numbers.
This is Givens, looking, Chest calling for it.
Watch the double on the ball screen action.
This is Green. Jai Bailey trying to fight away from Kelly. He's got the bigger Cardwell on him. Steps back for 3. New 30, or new 20, I should say. And Miller left it short. Chest, though, has it. So it's a third look for LSU.
Those are the kind of offensive rebounds that Chest got at will at Alabama.
Givens, little out of control. Continuity during this recent sustained run of success. To make the case it's arguably the best era in program history. Ranked for a third straight week here as the #1 team in America. So they get the timeout and then the turnover. Lob it up to Broom. Wow, how about the nimble agility on the baseline that time for Janai Broom? He's got 6.
I didn't think that was a great pass, but Broom made that catch and finish look very easy.
He has ascended the mountaintop of the sport, the All-American. It's a foul on Auburn.
This little one-handed, left-handed pass by Baker Mazar, I think it's a little better than I gave him credit for initially. But Broom doesn't try to do too much with it.
Back to a 10-point game. So Sunday, we have our women's hoops quadruple header here on the network. Starts with the reigning national champs. They're taking on Auburn at noon. Mississippi State is here in Baton Rouge 2. We got Texas A&M at 6. Top 15 battle at 4. So.
Yeah, Kentucky, Oklahoma. I'm going to be tuned in. You know how I love offense. Oklahoma's averaging 86 points a game. Kentucky almost 80. Yeah, I will be tuned in.
Book it. Broom barks it in the chest. Boy, he does that spin back better than most. Just could not get it to go this time. Givens with his eyes up. Givens with a crossover. Bounce pass underneath. Miller has to duck back out. And then the near giveaway. Carter regathers.
It's too long.
Look at this. It's Denver Jones on the throwdown. Call it a floater.
Yes, ball's got too much air on it. It's like throwing a football pass over the middle. You've got to put more zip on it.
14 first half turnovers forced by Auburn. That is a huge total. And they scored 13 off of those points. Green wants one. Still can't hit it from distance. Denver Jones underneath. Gave it away. Green knocked off of his leg. Auburn ball with 1:18 to go.
Again, we talk about if you're going to throw the ball from one side of the floor to the other against Auburn, it better have a little zip on it. Way too long in the air. That's an easy read for Denver Jones.
Bruce Pearl and this staff, they have lauded the defensive work. Cardwell with another throwdown. This lead grows to 13. They have lauded the defensive work of guys like Denver Jones, Chaney Johnson, Miles Kelly, improving as defenders. And this is relentless pressure here on the perimeter. A near deflection. Here's Bailey for 3. Can't get it to go. And so Broom already with 11 boards.
Better offense, better shot. Those are the ones you got to make.
Baker Mazzara, that's a difficult one off balance. You know, Cardwell underneath just gets a hand on it. Broom can't make a pay. with the perimeter pressure that Bailey, Givens, especially that duo, are facing, it has been pretty harassing. Carter trying to break down his man. Carter, step back three, splashes it.
The best tough shot maker in the SEC.
So Markey's in the double figures now with 11. He had that great 6-point start, had to sit down for a few minutes after he picked up his second foul. He's got 11. 9 seconds to go in the first. Auburn up by 10. This is Pettiford, sets the feet. That is a pure shot. Quiets down that LSU bench. As Auburn ended that first half on a 32-9 run after it fell behind by a handful in the early minutes. And Auburn with a triple to start the second half.
That's a call out of the locker room on coming out for the second half. I'm anxious to see if LSU does anything different on the double teaming of ball screens.
That was Denver Jones, by the way, who now has 7. Curtis Givens, the freshman, leaves the 3 short. And LSU is going to get a new 30 here. Shot clock resets. This is Cam Carter. That's good. So Cam Carter, well, he has been the most impactful and productive player by far for LSU this game, especially on the offensive end. He's got 14.
And he needs more shots.
5 out of 6 from the floor. That's it. He's only taken 6. Kelly back rims that triple. So LSU, they need to turn the stops into points. Heck, just shots. Shot attempts. That's better than the turnover. Givens cut off by Cardwell. Givens into the paint. Ball fake. Puts it up and count the basket. Givens, the freshman, is going to the line for one more.
Nice job by Givens. If I'm Matt McMahon, I'm talking to the team about winning the first segment and going from there. Here's the drive into the paint, the step through, the acrobatic finish by Givens.
The freshman from Memphis, he started the last 4 games for LSU. Well, he needed something positive to come his way, and so LSU is within 10. Auburn looking for its 4th straight win against LSU. And the 19-1 record, that would match the program's best 20-game start. Carter whistled for his 3rd. They get him on the reach-in foul. Remember, he had to sit early in that first half when he picked up his 2nd.
I don't think Matt McMahon can take him out now. He's going to have to roll the dice.
He's been by far their most productive offensive player. Broom wide open underneath, so it's a 12-point lead once again. Broom has 8.
More special teams points from a side-out situation. A little flex cut for the guy who inbounded.
That's the 3rd foul on Cardwell. That's a couple of times that you've underscored that.
Keep your eye on 4 blue. Broom, top of your screen. He took it out. Then the flex cut, the up screen, if you will, by Kelly on that play led to the easy deuce. Again, they're just adding up points, whether they're talking about turnovers when you take the ball out or scoring when Auburn takes the ball out.
Auburn, compared to the rest of the league, Givens, by the way, with another. Nope, it's Corey Chest who throws that one down. Just Auburn in terms of their strength. It's Chad Baker. Mazzara blocked by Collins, who gets back. LSU on the run out. Carter to Chest. Chest goes up. Count it! And the foul. Chest at the line for one more to spark the crowd.
I hope you like your action 94 feet. Both teams going up and down. Damian Collins times this in transition, blocks the Baker Mazzaro attempt, and then Corey Chest just kind of goes through the chest, if you will, of Chaney Johnson.
3rd foul on Johnson. It's so physicality at the rim on both sides. Now LSU missed 3 times at the line, but it is an 8-point game. Johnson from 15 misses that one, and Corey Chest secures his 6th rebound. Here's Carter. Carter with 14. That leads all LSU Tigers. Back to Chest. Couple of dribbles underneath. Chest goes up. That shot's affected by Broom. And so you see his prowess at the rim. There's Miles Kelly. Just a quick burst to the basket.
That's a 4-point swing in about 5 seconds.
Yep. 12 points for Kelly. Carter draws the foul. So Cam Carter goes back to the free throw line.
Again, action going up and down. Both teams trying to counterpunch in transition. Cam Carter, who has had such a wonderful year shooting the basketball, worked on his three-point shooting. It's at a career best 39%. He's had 8 games of 20 or more this season. And as I have said several times tonight, I think he is the best tough shot taker and tough shot maker in this conference.
8 20-point games. Now the latest was in their lone SEC win a couple of weeks ago against Arkansas, had 27. You know, wow, we're here earlier today. Misses 2 at the line, so that is a rarity here.
91% on the year. Missed 2 free throws. That's like a turnover.
Yep. Baker Mazzara pulls it. It was a long 3, knocked out. Ball back to LSU. Boy, an odd day for LSU at the line. Again, they were 84% in league play coming into this one. They're 6 out of 11.
Right.
And we've seen a couple of misses from their 2 most reliable free throw shooters in Sears and Carter. Sears back on the floor. Sears only played the 8 minutes in the first half. Didn't see him too much. It was off of Jones's neck.
Yeah, that just wasn't there.
So the force leads to another giveaway. Jones lost the handle. Jones over to Broom. Wants the 3. Offline. Bounces to Broom. And Janai gets fouled. And so the All-American is going back to the free throw line after the missed 3. That one just ricocheted right to him.
If there's a knock on Broom's game at the next level, I think it will be at the arc. 29%. Most of his three-point attempts are right at the line. And, of course, at the next level, that line moves back a couple of feet.
Yep.
But everything else, I think, I just don't understand the fact that you are older, so you are not as sexy of a draft pick.
Or valuable, yeah.
Or valuable, yes. Thank you for helping me there.
He's incredibly productive. Speaking of another incredibly productive fifth-year senior, we can have this conversation, by the way, about Mark Sears and the Alabama Crimson Tide. They are in Starkville to take on Mississippi State. That one's coming up right after this one concludes here in Baton Rouge. Top 15 battle coming up. You know, I always like to reference the Jalen Brunson example. Okay, 3 years at Villanova.
Right.
And he's not a first-rounder.
Right.
Goes in the second round. Well, it's arguably one of the most productive point guards in the NBA. 12-point lead for Auburn. There are several Auburn Tigers out there that have that next level upside. Sears trying to go high off the glass. Miller got his hand on it. Auburn has it, pushing, perhaps with numbers. Kelly bounces it down to Chaney Johnson.
Mismatch.
Yep, goes up with the right.
Whoa.
Miller erases that one. Robert Miller, the 3rd.
So I think they're going to have a pro in that category.
Yep.
I do think the guards on this team are probably better, deeper, more skilled, more well-rounded, can beat you in more ways.
Well, you've got, what, 6, 7, 8 starters? What'd you say on this roster? Broom. They only can start 5. They got 7.
That's a seal-off by Broom. He is as good as anybody I've seen in the college game this year. Once he seals you, gets you on his hip, it's over.
Well, it's the physicality. By the way, this is his 12th double-double of the season. 72nd of his career. He's got 12 and 13. You know, part of the equation is physical, but he's got the savvy instincts around the rim now as a fifth-year player. Carter's pass was deflected. Derek Fountain for three. Got it. Derek Fountain with his first basket of the evening.
Just his third three of the year. And LSU has made some three-point shots. That's their fifth in league play. They're only averaging a little more than 6.
LSU on the move again. Carter with the throwdown. Back to single digits. It's a quick 5-0 burst for the home Tigers.
I just love the resiliency of this LSU team. Every time you think Auburn is starting to stretch it out, there's a response.
Largest lead was 15 for Auburn earlier this half. LSU responded quickly, so they got it back to single digits again. Kelly way off, and a foul underneath. And so there is the gravitas of Janai Broome. Draws the foul on LSU.
Watch this pass at the exact right time. That is a great give up by Sears, which leads to the Carter two-handed slam. Boy, that is a fast break that was run with no one dribbling. 2 passes and a dunk.
How about Jaheim Hudson burying the 3? Just his second of the season.
What is it about this game tonight? Everybody's like 1 for 9, 2 for 14, and everybody's making a 3.
This game favors the non-traditional three-point shooters. If there was ever a time for you or I to pull the trigger, it's tonight. Fountain cut off underneath. Hudson with some good defense. So 6 to shoot. Haven't had many late shot clock offensive sequences. Sears throws it in, and he's fouled. Jordan Sears looking to complete the 4-point play.
Yeah, Janai Broome knows better. It wasn't the jump, the closeout that got him in trouble. It's the reach. See the way he jumped to the side of the shooter? That's fundamentally correct. But with his left hand, he reached in. And I love the call because you must protect shooters. Doesn't seem like a lot. It is.
Yeah, got him on the arm there. And so Sears lets out a little emotion, completes the 4-point play. Can he get cooking here as well? The only scorer in double figures today for LSU is Carter. Now Sears has 8. It's an 8-point game.
Crowd's back.
Baker Mazzara trying to split a pair, picks up the dribble. Off balance, one-legged fadeaway, and here comes LSU. This is Sears. A couple of crossovers. Heat check. Another for Jordan Sears. I think they want him to be as aggressive as we have seen him the last couple minutes.
Yeah, LSU's going to have to ride offensively with Carter and Sears, period.
So they're +7 here in this second half. A 15-footer goes down and out. New 20, Pettiford, book it to Han Pettiford. You know, he is the big shot maker as a rookie here. And so Pettiford has 9.
I just love Cardwell and what he gives Auburn. Not only did he get the second chance opportunity, he gets the assist on the play.
Oh, Jai Bailey stuck with it.
That's that old get feet in the paint, lose it on the way up, get it blocked, get it back, score play.
The old reliable one. Denver Jones, aggressive baseline drive. Denver Jones is going back to the free throw line.
So why are the best three-point shots often come after offensive rebounds? Because the defense is scattered. All 5 white jersey guys are in the paint. That leads to the immediate kick out by Cardwell and the immediate 3-ball by Pettiford. Pettiford, 42% on the year from bonus land.
You know, that is the best among all SEC freshmen. Jones is back at the line now. 91% at the stripe. Auburn as a team is very strong. You know, Cardwell, just to underscore his impact, right? He's got the 6 rebounds today.
Right.
Starter for the first time in his career. You mentioned he's had the extended stay on the Plains. What is it, 150 games or so at this point?
Right, but what did Bruce Pearl tell us about this conversation they had last summer?
Yep. Whether
or not Broom would come back, and how that would impact Cardwell, because Cardwell did not want to play behind Broom again. Full teaming.
11 steals for Auburn. Sears misses that triple. They had the 11 steals, I should say, in that first half. Well, Sears hit back-to-back, but that time could not connect. Cardwell fouled by Miller. That time he just grabbed onto the arm. So that is the 5th team foul on LSU. That's the first on the freshman from Houston, who his number has been called upon here.
It's a couple of minutes with Kelly, Baker, Mazzaro, and Broom all on the bench getting a breather.
Jones blocked by Miller. Auburn has it back. Denver Jones puts it up. It is tapped back out. Remember, the shot clock didn't reset, so it's a late one. Chaney Johnson drains the 3.
He told me today when I talked to him the most improved part of his game that he just hasn't been able to realize in a game situation his 3-point makes.
So the Miller make gets it back to a 9-point game. But Chaney Johnson, he is the versatile X factor off the bench. Step back 3 is up. Not that time. And Chris Moore, one of the veterans, hits a new 20 for the Tigers. Sears has it. So LSU dodges some bullets. Lead feed to Fountain. Over to Carter. Ball fake. Back up top. Sears the left-hand dribble. So Sears gets cut off. Now starts to play on the attack. He's got Johnson on him. A lot of dribbling. Crossover. Kicks it back out. Bailey for 3. Offline. And so he had an open look. Could not convert with 10:30 to go. Auburn has kept LSU kind of at arm's length away every time they've went on a run. Pettiford, aggressive into the paint. And so the 5-star McDonald's All-American from North Jersey is going back to the free throw line. He has a knack for just making a play when his team needs it.
I think all great guards with the ball in their hands understand that you have to play at different speeds. But most freshmen don't understand that. And yet for Bruce Pearl, Pettiford understands, he realizes, he recognizes, he reads the defense, he evaluates, and he plays at different speeds.
He's built a little differently, isn't he? He's got that moxie and swagger, very fearless. And you're right on. You know, even as the freshman, at this point it's been abundantly clear this staff trusts him. Late in games, crunch time. So he has ignited for big games. Into double figures now. 12 of the last 20. Missed it, and look at that. He follows the miss. So, you know, if you're LSU in a game where you've been down by about 10 for much of the night, these are the little things you can't afford too many times to happen. Pettiford in attack mode again. Get that out of here. Cam Carter, their most valuable player today.
Now, every once in a while, a freshman will still be a freshman. That was an ill-advised attempt.
Do we see the wide-ranging spectrum?
Yeah, Carter just measured this. That was an easy block. I would look for Auburn to go through number 4, who's back in the game.
So 6 on the shot clock. Chris Moore, bounce pass to Broom, just checked in. Oh, that is pure. Off the window and down.
On cue.
Well, add another special teams win for Auburn.
Yes.
You have lauded what they have done. Just the out-of-bounds plays offensively and defensively. And the lead is swelled back to 12. Shy Bailey trying to figure out what to do here. This is Damian Collins. Missed it short, follows his miss, bounces it, but right to Denver Jones. Auburn quickly into the front court once again. Here's Broom, look out! Broom absorbs some contact. Ball still on the ground. Who wants it? It's a tie-up, and LSU will take over.
I often say, be the first guy to the deck in a 50-50 situation. You'll be rewarded. Watch Damian Collins, number 10, trailing the play, but when the ball becomes a scrum, he's the first one to hit the deck, and he's rewarded.
Collins, he just continues to emerge in his redshirt junior season, the Atlanta, Texas native. LSU got it back to 5 a few moments ago. Auburn responds with an 11-4 run. They're back up double digits. Sears, tough one. Boy, that is Denver Jones smothering him again.
That was great defensive patience.
Okay, Cardwell missed it. And now numbers possibly for LSU. Chris Moore gets up, coming back the other way. Carter draws the foul. Cam Carter going back to the line where he's going to shoot free throws number 5 and 6.
The Auburn staff thought Cardwell got bumped on his way to the basket. No call. And then Carter attacking. I like the way Carter's fearless, and I like the way he protects the ball.
He has done a lot of things right today. Today's 6 out of 7 from the field. He's got the 6 rebounds. Now 17 points. It's the hardest. It's nice when your best player is the hardest worker.
That is not always the case. Again, anytime Auburn gets in trouble, whether you're talking about on the road at LSU or against Iowa State and Maui, they run their offense through Janai Broom.
Jones to Broom, bounce pass, Johnson off the glass, couldn't get it. One more look. He draws the foul. Chaney Johnson going to the line.
Johnson is shot in some hard luck tonight. Here's Janai Broom, just a marvelous interior passer. Chest challenges and then fouls. That's good job of rim protecting. Chest got back into the play. That is so athletic. He actually hedged out on the slide and then got back in on the weak side defensively.
Yeah, the upside for this redshirt freshman, it is certainly sky high. Meanwhile, Chaney Johnson with the miss at the line. 5th-year senior from Alabaster, Alabama. Again, this is his 2nd year at Auburn. Taking on a huge production jump. You see he's averaging 10 and about 5.5 boards a game. First couple of years at Division II Alabama Huntsville. They play Auburn in an exhibition game ahead of last season.
Yeah.
And then once they saw his name, Auburn coaching staff, they knew of his prowess then. Once they saw his name in the transfer portal,
he's gotten in better shape.
Yep. Play very strong. Here's a 3 in the air. That one is down. It's Curtis Givens who connects.
That time, Chad Baker-Mazzaro got too greedy. He just looked over at Bruce Pearl and patted his chest like, that was my bad.
Pettiford throws it away. Chest has it. This is Carter. He's a blur. Accelerator puts it up. One of the highest scoring offenses in the nation. As a team, they're shooting about 50% from the field. So yeah, they get a lot of attention in terms of what they do offensively. But Bruce Pearl really lauds the work that this team does on the defensive side collectively. After the Carter free throws, it's a 6-point game again. 7:30 to go.
You know what this tells me? It's really hard to win games on the in this league on the road. It's really hard to win games when you're the #1 team in the country.
Well, give it to maybe the best big man in America. He throws it in and gets the foul. So 16 now for Broom.
Just so powerful with his body. Watch the way he attracts the contact. And it really has a quick attack moment. You know, every offensive player has a moment. His is always really quick.
It's his 12th double-double of the season. He's got the 3 blocks as well.
Well, I like,
yeah, go ahead, Mark.
I was about to say I like this going down the floor a little bit. Keep the pressure on. See that ghost string instead of the ball screen?
Yeah, that's a foul there on Denver Jones. So had his hands all over Givens. That's the second on Jones.
And that's the big change schematically in the second half because LSU got away from all those ball screens because Auburn just smothered LSU in the first half on that action.
And they've only given it away 2 times in this second half. So, again, they were down 12 at the break. Givens is at the line here. So both teams in the bonus the rest of the way. LSU 12 out of 17 from the line today. They are trying to do something that the program hasn't done in almost 20 years. That is takedown #1 in the nation. They've got 3 wins in program history against top-ranked team in the nation. The last was that 06 run to the Final Four. They knocked out Sheldon Williams, J.J. Redick, and Duke in the Sweet 16. Remember that team? That was Glenn Big Baby Davis, Tyrus Thomas. Here's a turnover. And then Hudson fouls Bailey. Jai Bailey going to the line. And then remember the conductor, okay, of that 06 team.
Yeah.
It was Tasman Mitchell,
who looks like he could still play. I didn't like the pass that time by Chad Baker-Mazzara. Didn't break down with the ball, tried to tiptoe and make a pass over his head while being triple teamed. Well, Kev, it is game on now.
Broom spins, Broom, ball fake, gets chest to bite. Janai Broom heading to the line.
He just gives you a variety of different moves. This particular one, it was the quick spin baseline side, back over his left shoulder. He usually likes to go over his right shoulder as a left-hander, and that looked like he was grabbing for his ankle a little bit.
Left ankle sprain against South Carolina kept him out of back-to-back games. Broom, arguably the most productive player in the nation.
Player of the year, I think it's between these two. No one else need apply.
Position is just about filled.
It's going to be one of these two.
Well, what's missing there for Broom is the nearly 3 blocks a game, nearly 3 assists per game. He leads Auburn in both of those categories as well.
And you know I say that in jest because there are a lot of years Cam Jones at Marquette, he'd be a player of the year.
Yeah. So now it's an 8-point lead again for the top-ranked Tigers. Corey Chess, bounce pass on the baseline. This is Givens, the freshman, hands off. Collins gets bumped. 6 to shoot for the Tigers. Sears must improvise. Jones knocks it away. It's a takeaway, hesitation, drop it off. Hudson, 10-point lead again for Auburn. How quick was that? The takeaway, the transition look, and Hudson lays it in.
So many times people think defense is played with your hands. It's not. It's played with your feet. And that time, Jones was marvelous at anticipating and sliding his feet, which allowed his hands to then get into the play.
Yeah, and he's tough. He's 6'4", 205. He's thick, broad-shouldered. So he is a tough defender a vastly improved one as well. A fifth-year senior from Alabama. Carter draws the foul before that alley-oop. So that's another on Miles Kelly. Carter is going to the line where he will shoot 2 with 5:46 to go.
But right now, Auburn, they have no answer for Carter. Whether you're in transition or on the half court, he's kind of impacting the game in so many different ways.
Boy, 91% at the line coming in, but Carter has now missed 3 at the line.
Yeah, this is his 9th game this year of 20 or more.
Wow, that's the second time that's happened tonight. Now LSU gets a break, it'll remain here. Carter says, I'm good. Down 10.
Kevin, don't you feel like this is an important, before we get to the under 4, this is an important minute 45 for LSU. It'll help define how the last segment is played.
Is there a target number you want them to get this back to if you're LSU?
I think 8 or under.
Carter, aggressive, goes up. Collins, the follow, hammer. 8-point game, 5:30 to go.
Auburn got guilty of watching, assuming Broom was going to get the rebound. Good job by Collins being active.
LSU trying to lock in. Damian Collins draws the tough assignment. Broom spins and scores it.
Do we say crafty enough for a guy 6'10" and 240?
It's a 19-point game now. Make it 21, for Broom. So his 11th 20-point game. Quick release. Givens missed it. 10-point advantage, Auburn.
Yeah, that's where I'm going with the ball every time. Rebounders get in the picture. Put your camera down.
Janai Broom has been the centerpiece of the photo of this college hoops landscape this year. 21 points. He's taken 21 shots.
The last segment, 4 and Blues coming back in the game.
Again, just his second game back after he suffered the ankle sprain at South Carolina. Missed 2 games. Comes back Saturday in the top 10 battle against Tennessee. Winds up playing 33 minutes. Double-double. Carter in attack mode again. That's a foul on Moore. So Cam Carter, he has just been relentless. LSU has needed him to be today.
Yeah, Bruce Pearl went to a fresh body, Chris Moore, to put on Cam Carter, a matchup of 5s, if you will. Well, I stand corrected, because it didn't take to the under 4 to Bruce Pearl to say, Janai, hey, get back in there.
Quick breather, _quick.
A little offensive, defensive substitution. Moore out, Baker Mazzaro back in.
The 9th 20-point game of the season for Cam Carter. LSU's leading scorer, prolific bucket getter. Again, in league play, he is leading the league in scoring. Close to 20 a game. He's obviously got 22 now. They're within 9. So an important couple of possessions, as you mentioned, before the final media timeout. Kelly catches. Broom wants it. He's got Fountain on him. Here comes the double. Broom flings it out. Chad Baker Mazzara draws the foul, and so that is a difficult one there on Fountain with the shot clock winding down.
Most of the time in the game of basketball, when we talk about patience, we talk about offensive patience. But there's also such a thing as defensive patience. Late in the clock, don't reach. Move your feet. Again, I talked about defenses played with your feet. Stay solid.
And so you're sending one of the best free throw shooters in the nation. He's 93% at the stripe. Chad Baker Mazzara now with 10 to go along with, how about 7 assists today for Chad Baker-Mazara. A couple of steals as well. Matter of fact, it's 3. So just his ascension continues to become more and more inspiring. From junior college a couple of years ago to a second leading scorer on the #1 ranked team in America.
You would look at this game and think, well, we did a pretty good job on Baker-Mazara, and he's got 10, 7, and 3.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a zone. First time we've seen it. A little 1-3-1. Ball goes below the free throw line. It might morph into a 2-3. It's a matchup.
Auburn extending. Collins has it, turns, finds Bailey. Finger digits. They have been close on a number of occasions trying to break through. The closest they've gotten him, Mark, was 5 earlier in the half. They have been down by 5 or more ever since.
And for LSU, I think it's all about stops and scores. But in order to get a stop, I think all 5 better go to the glass. Keep your eye on where Broom is. He's in the top of your screen in the corner. The ball's going to work his way back to him, I promise you.
He's got 16 of his 22 in the second half. He has come alive. Comes to set the screen. Fountain, Hedges, Johnson left open for 3. Cheney Johnson buries a big one. And just like that, Auburn retakes a double-digit lead. They're up a dozen.
A completely different player from a year ago with his own confidence level.
You know, he is, Mark, 3 of 3. Or excuse me, he's hit both of his triples from distance. That's one thing he and the staff were high on. They knew he's a better three-point shooter than he gives. Somehow Carter fights out of it. Fountain left open. They need it. High arcer taken away by Broom. 14th rebound for arguably the best big man in America. And so the All-American now and his Tigers are in a comfortable position. 2:35 to go, up 12.
It's a team that just does not turn the ball over very often.
With a rare near giveaway, and that actually might have been last touch by Kelly.
Yes, I think it
so
was.
What's that? That's only 8 turnovers. That's it. They are, you're spot on. Top 5 in the nation in terms of not turning it over.
Yeah, they're top 10 in the country in effective field goal percentage and turnover rate. They just don't give it away.
18-1. They've been the most dominant team in the nation really since the jump. Here's Jordan Sears off the glass. Couldn't get it. Sears somehow got it back amongst a whole bunch of big bodies, yet Johnson took it away. Got knocked out of his hands. And so here comes Auburn slowing it down with 2:05 to play. Broom turns, keeps it high, back out to Kelly. Kelly absorbs the blow. That's a foul on Bailey. And so Miles Kelly is at the free throw line, aiming to extend the Auburn lead.
So Kevin, on that Auburn possession, the ball gets reversed, it gets into Broom, but he has the patience offensively to evaluate, knew that there was too much traffic, so kicked the ball out to Kelly, who gets fouled off the bounce.
You know, Auburn today shooting just 39% from the floor. That's a worse percentage than LSU, but they've made 8 more shots. They've taken almost 30 more shots. Here's the upcoming schedule here for Auburn.
4 of those next 5 are quad 1 games, quad 1 opportunities. Look at that bottom one, the first of 2, as you mentioned earlier, starting on the road in Tuscaloosa. That's one of the reasons why Auburn, who played a great non-conference schedule, has they're number 1 in the net and number 1 in strength of schedule. That's unheard of.
Yeah, they have been the most formidable roster rotation resume in the nation. Nobody's got a better record in college basketball at 18-1.
That time the zone paid off.
Yep. And so they can just wind the clock here inside of 2 minutes. Well, LSU got it back to 5. They got it back to 9 recently, 8. They just were not able to get over the hump.
There's the difference in the game. That plus 12 in points off turnovers.
Yeah, I still can't get over just the defensive numbers here. It's the 15 steals for Auburn.
Yeah.
And they have forced 20 turnovers. Again, LSU shoot much better from the floor than Auburn. They've taken almost 30 fewer shots. That is an astounding disparity there.
LSU, because of the first half turnovers, dug themselves too big of a hole. But this is life as the #1 team in the country.
Yep. You know, this is the third straight week this program has been ranked #1 in the AP poll. They were ranked for 3 weeks 3 years ago.
See the way everybody catches it for Auburn before they put it on the deck. Watch the catch and the evaluate.
Broom, one more for good measure. It's a 24-point game, so 24 and 13 to go along with a handful of blocks for the most productive big man in the nation. His second game back from that sprained ankle that kept him out back-to-back games. And so Auburn, to your point, the most formidable roster in the nation, is about to get to 19-1 to match the best 20-game mark in program history. Pettiford that time couldn't get it. Broom does. So what is it? What's it going to wind up being here? It's going to be a 20-point second half for Johni Broome.
Kevin, I got to tell you, this Auburn team, I feel like, can win more games in different ways than any other team in the country. Maybe they had to win one ugly tonight, and they did so.
19-1, they remain undefeated, and a